Housing market alert. You're going to want to watch this video until the end because there's a lot unfolding in the economy, in the housing market. The Fed's Jerome Powell says that the risk of higher unemployment and inflation has risen. This now puts the Fed between a rock and a hard place even more than they already were, meaning that they're probably going to cut interest rates too late. They're worried about the tariffs, worried about inflation, and things in the economy are already signaling that the Fed should be cutting the Fed rate further. However, risks of higher unemployment and higher inflation. And the Fed has been hinting that they do favor stronger unemployment over lower inflation. So if they have to pick between the two, unemployment is more important. Yet they see both rising. And none of that is good for interest rates. Look right here what happened to interest rates here in the last few days. And in the last few weeks as they came down. They're going down to the 6.5, now they're back to 7. Well, the reason is the CME tool that tracks what the chances are of a Fed rate cut, essentially for the June meeting, jumped to 91.8% to stay current. Essentially, the Fed to not cut the Fed rate. And if interest rates have already been wreaking havoc on the housing market and on the car industry, in the car market, well, we see that relief with interest rates is not coming anytime soon. And all of that is happening as we see active listings increasing substantially year over year and much higher than years past. And I'm going to show you guys something that I've been talking about that's going to have big impacts. You want to stay tuned to this. Right here, we're seeing that inventory growth. Much more inventory. Now, check this out. This is what I want to bring to your attention. And put down in the comments your thoughts. Right here, if we take a look, we estimate that more than 9 million student loan borrowers will face significant drops in credit score once delinquencies appear on credit reports in the first half of 2022. This right here is a pie chart, and right here, the purple, you see 29% of the borrowers, which is 9.7 million, past due. However, you have deferment and you have forbearance, 3.3 million and 2.5. Forbearance lengths for mortgages and student loans can vary, but generally, an initial forbearance period is a few months, with extensions possible. Federal student loans, forbearance can be granted for up to 12 months at a time, and it has a 3-year limit. Mortgages, it's a little bit different. Now, the payments resuming is going to have big impacts on what's going on with who can qualify for a car, for a house, because if credit scores are being hit. And right here, student loans in default will be sent for collections. Now, I'm going to share some more things with you guys here. Something else about the loan industry, the student loans that you want to pay attention to. But before we do that, smash that like button, hit the subscribe button. That'll help me grow this YouTube channel. I'll make sure you're staying informed if you hit the subscribe. At least hit that like button, help me grow this YouTube channel. And sign up for the link. I'm going to put in the comments, I'm going to put in the description so that you can pay attention to what's going on in the housing market, in the counties, in the areas in Utah that you're interested in. I send out monthly, and I'm going to be sending one out here this week once this video posts. You're going to get an update of what inventory in your county is year over year for the month of May. Now, right here, if we, did it just kick me out of an article? Let me just pull this up. All right, so this one, here it is. Student loans become delinquent when a borrower doesn't make a payment for 90 days after the due date. So that's where it impacts the credit score. If they continue being delinquent for 270 days, roughly 90 months, it goes into default. This is essentially collections. Now, right here, how will involuntary collections work? Now, beginning May 5th, the department will begin involuntary collections through the Treasury Department offsetting programs. Borrowers who have student loans in default will receive communication from federal student aid in the upcoming weeks. Involuntary collection means government can garnish wages, tax refunds, seize portions, social security checks, benefits. Seems like this thing might actually be real. I have talked to some people where they're being told that they don't have to make any payments until the end of the year. But it seems some people are being reported that they're late. Those delinquencies are hitting their credit scores. And right here, according to FICO, federal student loan delinquencies were once again reported on credit files. Wow, once again reported. February 2025, following emergency multi-year pauses, the share of consumers with more than 90-day delinquencies in the past 6 months increased from 7.4% in January to 8.3%. That is the first time that this figure has surpassed pre-pandemic levels. In January of 2020, it was 8.1% according to FICO. Now, have these delinquencies spiraled out of control? Has everybody been reported? I've been already told by some people that they don't have to make any payments until the end of the year. So not everybody's being reported. Maybe people are filing forbearance. But if it's already happening, we know that this number is going to get bigger and bigger. And all of that is happening as inventory is increasing substantially year over year. Highest levels we've had here, if you go back to 2021, essentially the peaks, and we still have months of growth left. Interest rates are going up. The chances of a Fed cut in June is substantially down, 91.8% as a no. So essentially, it's not going to happen unless something in the economy gives. Higher unemployment, higher inflation. Comment down below with your thoughts. What do you think is going to happen? Don't forget about the commercial real estate refinance boom that they keep kicking from 23 to 25 or 24, now from the end of 24 to the end of 2025. And if you Google that, JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, there's even articles stating that commercial real estate is in a big of a bind, if not bigger than in 08, 09. Again, comment down below. I'd love to hear what you think the impacts are going to be of the student loans, of what's going on in the economy, higher interest rates, student loans. Are we going to see a recession? Are we not? Put your thoughts down in the comments.